Hey sneaker friends, how's it going today? I'm pretty excited about today's topic, and really I haven't really analyzed these two shoes I'm going to compare yet. So we're going to look at two of Nike's high performance running shoes. We're going to compare the Turbo to the Epic React. Now, most of you know the Turbo came out at the beginning of August 2018, so it's a relatively new shoe. I've been in it only for a couple of weeks, so I'm not exactly sure how I feel about it yet. The Epic React's been out since May, and I've got a lot of miles on this shoe, 70 miles to be exact. So you're gonna get a little update on what I think of this shoe. All right, let's compare them head to head and see what's what. Epic React. So this shoe came out mid to late spring, April, May 2018. It's $150. Nike still has it on their website and a ton of beautiful colorways. Some of the colorways of the shoe have been really great this year. Now it primarily consists of a Flyknit upper, very simple minimal upper with the React foam as the midsole and the outsole. Now, if you recall, the React foam being the outsole was a major durability concern for people. The outsole had clear heel forefoot, and I did not like that because I do find that slippery when it's wet. Turbo, $180, just came out. Now the Turbo has a pretty standard Pegasus upper with flywire in it. Now there's full lining in here, you have a full tongue, you have full collar foam. It is a much more upper than the Epic React. The technology in the shoe though is the Zoom foam, which is the top green layer of foam, on top of the React foam. And it has some geometry changes for aerodynamics. $180, available on Nike's website. I think there's 3 colorways. Both of these shoes fit true to size. I ordered a 7.5 in both, and I do feel like they both fit true to size. That being said, they both did have a bit of a fit issue. If you recall in the Epic React, the midfoot was quite tight initially. It was tight around this area and also hard to get into. I don't notice an issue with that now. The material's loosened up a little bit, and I've gotten used to wearing the shoe no problem. The Turbo, the forefoot is definitely short, and there's not much stretch in this upper whatsoever, so the toe box is short. Again, I noticed it initially when I tried on the shoe, but after wearing it, I have about 15 miles on these shoes. I don't notice it at all, does not bother me whatsoever. If we look at outsole of both shoes have rubber on the bottom, and both shoes have exposed React foam. Now, the Epic React has more exposed foam than the Peg Turbo, but they both in fact have that. And the primary purpose of that is to reduce weight, right? The less rubber you put on the bottom of the shoe and still get effective traction, the less weight the shoe's gonna be. Now you can see that the React foam on the Turbo has also started to wear away, but again, I'm not worried about it. There's enough rubber in the spots that wear a ton, and even as shown in the Epic React, when it wears away, I mean, it's not a significant wear happening at this point. Granted, this is only 70 miles on this shoe, 12 miles on this shoe. So outsole, comparatively head to head, the Turbo has more rubber on it, and it also has, it doesn't have the clear rubber, which I find slippery, so I do prefer the outsole of the Turbo. Now, if we take a look at midsole, the Epic React has a solid React foam midsole. The Turbo has Zoom X, which is supposed to be lighter weight with more energy return on top of React. Now, when wearing them individually and then head to head, honestly, to me, I feel like the Epic React feels a little bit more squishy. It feels softer and squishier to me. The Turbo feels nice and lightweight, but it doesn't feel to me quite as comfortable as the Epic React. But again, 70 miles, only 12. It's kind of hard to say until you get a lot more miles on this model. So for midsole, right now I'm choosing the Epic React as my preferred underfoot feel. Now, when we talk about uppers, now that I've worn this React upper, again, it is just Flyknit. It's very minimal. There's a little bit of reinforcer. There's an internal heel counter in it. Otherwise, it's just really simple. It does have quite a bit of stretch in it, and to me, it feels like a sock fit. Like, I really like the fit of this shoe and how it feels like a sock. I don't notice the midfoot being so tight anymore. But a new issue has cropped up in this shoe. If I wear this shoe for very much right now, I start to get a red mark on my heel. My heel starts to get irritated from the heel counter and this pull tab in the heel of the back, the shoe. So I have to have socks that come all the way out of this shoe with a little bit extra cushioning. Otherwise, my heel is just raw. In the Turbo, you have a full upper. You have basically the full Pegasus upper, plus you have the heel pulling out. I've felt no concerns whatsoever with this Peg Turbo upper, except the fact that it doesn't fit quite as well. I do prefer the fit of the Epic React upper and the lightweightness of it, but the overall comfort of the Turbo upper is good. So to me, the uppers are head to head. If anything, I have to pick the Turbo upper right now because the Epic React heel is just so irritating on the back of my foot that, you know, it makes it hard to wear the shoe. Every time I go to put the shoe on, I rethink it like, oh, do I have socks? Do I have socks that have enough cushioning in the heel, or can I find them? Are they clean, right? Where with this model, like even if the socks don't come up out of the heel, it's totally fine, not an issue. Now, both shoes, a lot of people have been asking about offset. And so offset is the distance from the heel to the toe, right? So most shoes, your heel is higher than your toe, and this is an exaggeration of it. But there are a few brands that make zero offset shoes, which mean your heel and your toe are flat, so there's no difference. But both of these models have a 10 millimeter offset, which means the heel is pitched up 10 millimeters higher than the forefoot, so that you're on your toes just a slight bit. So there's no difference in offset between these two models. Now, if we compare strobles, both shoes have a non-woven strobel. The Turbo has holes in it for lightweightness, but both strobles are glued down. They're really very similar. If anything, the Turbo has the better strobel because there are holes in it to reduce weight. Now, sock liners, there's quite a difference. The Epic React had a 3 millimeter thick sock liner, and it's this kind of memory foam. The Peg Turbo also has the same type of foam, this memory foam type sock liner, but it's about 5.5 millimeters thick. So you're definitely getting your initial cushioning a little bit more in the Turbo from this sock liner. For me, I prefer shoes that have thinner sock liners just because you're really experiencing the foam that's in the shoe and the underfoot cushioning system. I don't buy shoes to experience their sock liners. I buy shoes to experience the technology that's in the bottom. And in this case, Nike put in a pretty thick sock liner on the Turbo, and I'm not really sure why they did that, especially with the ZoomX foam, which is supposed to be so amazing and so soft and energy return, along with the React foam. So in this case, I do like the Epic React sock liner over the Turbo. And for those of you, I mentioned this in the Turbo review, for those of you that think that the toe box is too short in the Turbo, you can take the Epic React sock liner, it's only 3 mil, and put it in the Turbo, and you'll get yourself a couple extra millimeters of room in the forefoot. All right, that pretty much takes us to weight. Now, I assumed that weight was going to be a big difference in these shoes, but you're going to find out right away it really isn't. So when I weighed the Turbo, the right shoe was 190 grams and the left was 188. Only a difference of 2 grams between the shoes, which is a good sign of quality, and a total of 378 grams. Now, the Epic React, pretty lightweight shoe, real minimal upper, this foam is lightweight and minimal, it's just a simple shoe. The right was 179 grams and the left was 181 grams. Only 3 grams difference between the two shoes, which is good for quality, and 360 grams total. So your pair of Epic Reacts are going to be 18 grams lighter than the Turbo. So that's about 9 grams per shoe. Now, for having a complete, fully lined, cut and sew upper in the shoe, that's pretty surprising to me because I know this upper weighs more than this very minimal Flyknit upper that's on this shoe. So that tells me that the combo of the ZoomX and React midsole probably weighs less than the Epic React midsole. These are just guesses, of course. I know that ZoomX foam, you can just feel it by it's very lightweight, soft foam. So I'm sure it's giving you a little bit of weight savings, but at the end of the day, 19 grams is nothing. I mean, just the shirt you wear, how long the sleeves are, can make that difference up. So the weight difference, these shoes are really very close to about the same weight. Neither is really going to give you much of a weight savings in comparison to the comfort. Okay, well, that pretty much covers both of these models. Like I said, I'm struggling to make a decision between which shoe I prefer. You know, underfoot, I feel like I prefer this shoe a little bit more. Upper, definitely like the sock-like fit and the tight, nice fit of this upper works for my foot, but this upper is a little bit more comfortable. What I do know for sure is I cannot see the benefit of the Zoom X foam in this shoe whatsoever. For example, if this was made of 100% React, I think I might like this shoe better than this one. But it's not, so I'm not sure. You know, so head to head, I really can't tell you right now which shoe I prefer. It's gonna take more mileage. But what I do know is that the React foam wears badly on the bottom. It looks like crap, but it doesn't really impact wear whatsoever. At 70 miles for this shoe to still feel just as comfortable and underfoot, the same squish, that's pretty good. I don't feel like even Boost does that for me. Boost tends to go a little bit flat after some mileage, and so for the React to be still going strong at 70 miles, I'm pretty happy with that. So in the end of this week, I'm gonna do Portland to Coast, and I'm gonna take both of these shoes. So I'll be walking about 12-ish miles, and you know, as fast as I can walk, and I'm gonna compare them head to head on that event to see which shoe I actually prefer, and I'll let you know. All right, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Which model? Like, they're so close. Like, I really thought the Turbo was gonna be like so superior, but I don't think it is. All right, let me know what you guys think. Have an awesome day. See ya.